in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I created this ice skater girl. I started her in December. Yeah, I think whenever people were able to go ice skating, like outside. And actually when the job was having their winter wonderland, they were having an area where kids can ice skate, actually put on ice skates and just kind of do the thing. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make an ice skate girl. Bye. So I begin the process. Now I morphed two photos together, meaning I took something in this photo that I liked and on that image that kind of was my inspirational reference. The feet, I couldn't see it. I zoomed in, and so that was an issue. I'm not the greatest at hands, and so that was an issue. So, I'm gonna kind of take you through a bit of that process. The paint that I used, Liquitex Basics. I used the different variations of blue, different, so it's like a dark blue, a light blue, almost like an aqua blue and white, and kind of blended that together, per se. But what happened was, so it's supposed to be an adult ice skating. And then what happened was I actually made her body a lot smaller, just looking on ratio. And so, I was showing what I see. I shrunk her body, so now that's why she looks more like a young teen, probably. That's what I would say. And as I'm going, I'm loving the blue background, the blue sky. Now, I drew her first on there, and then I painted the background, which sometimes works for me, sometimes doesn't, because it's challenging to get that same color right through, because you have to stop and then go to the other side of the image of the item that you had drew on, and then finish, right, to make sure those colors are cohesive and you get the smooth transition throughout. Sometimes that works for me, and sometimes it doesn't. But it was a little bit of a challenge trying to make sure that that blue, or the colors that we're using, were consistent on both sides of the ice skate girl. Now, I do not know how to ice skate. I don't. I've been on the skates before, and I can say that I still have on my limbs, so that means that it wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible. I didn't die. I have to be rushed to the hospital like an ambulance. So it's a blessing. I have worked with kids, and we have taken the participants ice skating, and thank God, other than a little falls on the booty, okay, and all other ways that you can fall, but everybody was okay. You always want to be able to come home and bring the kids back from a trip and get them back to their parents the way they came in. So you know that I love mixed media, right? So in my head, I'm like, oh, I have these adhesive squares, rhinestone adhesive squares, and I've had them for a long time. I purchased them from Michael's when it used to be up on Exterior Mall. I'm so sad that's not there anymore. Okay, I miss Michael's. I've been to Blix, and I like Blix as well, but Michael's, each store has its own vibe and how the store was set up, and conversations. And Michael's had much more, 4 different styles of art, and that's what I enjoyed about Michael's. It has more variety, and so yes, sad about that. I mean, I can purchase the things online, but to me, it's nothing like going into a store and like having a conversation and like touching the brushes and looking at the canvas and looking at the books. Like, I like that. It makes me like so happy. Do you like going into retail stores? Go anywhere, and God is like, don't go, then I don't go that day, or yada yada. But I do like going in the stores and having a conversation with people and touching the items that I want to purchase and being able to try the items out in the store. Like going to Michael's was like being a kid in a candy store. Amazing. It was so much fun. But I digressed. So I had these wonderful rhinestone adhesive sticker squares, and I said, let me use them, to embellish the skater girl's outfit. And so I did that, and that was fun. That kind of worked out pretty well. The larger adhesive square was harder to not necessarily cut, but to maneuver to get into shape, whereas the strips were easier to fill in shapes with adhesive, and the larger square I had to cut it out, and it's better to cut out three rhinestone columns at a time. It was harder to cut just one strip, if that makes sense. But I love glitter, of course, and anything sparkly and shiny for the most part. So I decided to put that on my skater girl. My ice skater girl. I had looked up different ice skaters, African American female ice skaters, and other ethnic races. I really was focused on Black female ice skaters, teen students. I'm inspired, and I found a full-figured ice skater, professional ice skater, and she talked about her experience being an ice skater, and I found that to be very interesting, as I have fluctuated between plus size and I don't know what the other measurement would be, and just kind of seeing the story, and that was inspiring. And I wanted to also have that rhinestone embellishment also on the ice skater shoe, and the picture that I decided to use was challenging. And so I made adjustments as I was going, and I'm still having issues with the hands and the angles, because I wasn't able to see it in the reference, and it was just a little blurry when I was trying to zoom in so I could get better details of what was happening in the picture. And so that's why it took me off, and that's why it's where it is today. Almost done. So I'll take a break from something if I'm having some issues, and then I'll come back. I'll watch some more videos, watch some more tutorials to kind of fill in where I am having issues at. I'll ask my husband questions, and he also helps him to fill in my gap of understanding when it comes to proportions and adults and children, and where things line up, how long are their arms, and where do their arms and elbow and hands fall at against the body, if that makes sense. And so I've left it alone for some time, and so which is fine, right? It's still winter, so it's still like an ice skating season, and so my goal is finish her within a few months. I'm gonna come back at it. I've been working on Martin Luther King, and yada yada, and I'm working on him as well. And my main thing is blending. It's almost like when you really haven't focused on, for me, a particular technique in art, it takes a while to get back to it, and so you come back at that with your, skill that you had previously, and whatever else you've learned or been able to teach yourself since then. And so that's where I'm at with blending and really getting flesh tones. The drawing is a lot easier and a lot better now. Show you my drawing book, or my sketching book, quote unquote, that I paint inside of and also color. So that's awesome about that. Definitely check out my other videos. I will see you there at the next video. I've been working on dyeing, bleach dyeing, tie dyeing, using food coloring, and it's been a great experience. Of course, like I told you before, I get my shirts from every little store on my block, and so they're like $3, and I get the bleach. I don't know, I'm gonna probably try wood dye, and there is, I think, Dharma, another company, but that's only if I'm really gonna get deep into it. Being that I don't see myself doing it, but I just like to wear like the tie-dye shirts, bright and colorful, like when I'm doing my art. It just puts me in that festive, creative mood sometimes. I also added the mesh material for the tutu. I'm gonna have on a tutu, or one of my skater girl to have on a tutu because I like tutus, and I thought that would be cute. And so I added the material. I used the hot glue gun and also my silicone stir stick to kind of keep things in place so that I don't burn my fingers. And so that worked out well. I actually thought I would have more of a problem getting the mesh material and that I guess satin polyester material to stay down, but I actually enjoyed that process and I liked what it ended up to be. Now, like I said, the thing that I'm working on are the hands and the proportions and the size of the hand that, you know, is present on a young teen, I would say, girl. I would say she's young teen. And I know that once I finish it, I will post the second part to this video. So let me know, what do you think? How will you with your proportions? And what practices have you had? Don't forget to share this video, like, comment, and subscribe. I'm using a silicone piece so I don't burn my fingers when placing things down using hot glue. The last thing I have to do is with these hands.